Hi guys, Varun here. So in this video, we'll see about how we can build online exam application using Lightning components. So I have an custom object called as questions in Salesforce, which has like four fields. One is question and option A, option B, and option C, and option D. And also I have an additional field called as answer. So here we are storing all the questions in the custom object called as question. So if I open any of the record here, you can see a bunch of fields. One will store the question all what's the question name here. So what's the question? And also we have a field called as is active, and also these are the options like option A, option B, option C, option D. And we have another field called as answer A, which is nothing but a pick list. So we are storing all the questions in this object. So based on that, we are displaying all the question to the end user. So this is the application which we created. So it has like the first section includes, it will ask the user to enter the name of the student. So here student can enter their name, and at the right side you can see the timer. So this is the timer. So as of now I set it for like 5 minutes, I guess. So it will run from 5 minutes. And if I enter if I enter the student name here and just click on start test, and you can see here a bunch of questions displaying here with the options. So this is the question, this is the question, and these are the options, which includes a radio box. And also you can see here a timer is also started from 5 minutes. So as of now I set it this from to start from 5 minutes. That's the reason it's starting from 5 minutes. And here here I can answer some bunch of questions here. So for example, I'll just added only 5 questions as of now. That's the reason it's showing only 5 questions which are active. So give some I'll just give some answers to this question here, and just check my score here. So I can just give the correct answers here itself. Okay, and I just given the answers randomly and just clicking on the submit button here, and you can see here your score is 3. That means out of 5 only 3 are correct and 2 are incorrect. So in this way we can build a nice online exam application using a Lightning component. Let's build it from scratch. So the first step is to we have to create a Lightning component here. So to create a Lightning component, I'll just go back to my developer console. So this is my developer console. I'm going to create a new Lightning component. I'll just name this as online component, online exam, and click on submit. Similarly, I'm going to create a new application to display my Lightning component here. To create a new Lightning application, click on file, new, click on Lightning application. I'll just name this as online app and just click on submit. Now I'm going to embed my component into this application. So this is my component name. And also I'm going to do one thing here. I'll just add this statements extends force colon SLDS. Now my application is ready here. I'll just click on preview here. As of now my application is empty. That's the reason it's not showing anything here. So this is my component. I'm gonna start adding things in my component here. So this is my controller and this is my helper. Yes. Okay, so first comes the lightning component here. So I'm gonna add a lightning card here. I'll just give the title as online exam. And if you want to add any icon for your lightning card, you can add the icon from, you can get official icons from the SLDS site, and just add the icon here itself. Now just go back to your application and just click on refresh the application, and you can see here this is our card. So inside this card I'm going to add a lightning layout. So inside this lightning layout I'm going to use lightning layout item of size is equal to 12, and padding I'm going to give this around small. So inside this lightning layout item, I'm going to declare one more thing here. I'll just declare the multiple rays as true. Yes. And here in the lightning layout item, I'm gonna add a text box where student can enter the name. So I'm gonna add a lightning input text. Lightning input type is equal to text. I'll just name this as label is equal to enter student name, and I'm gonna give the aura ID as student name. That's it. Yes. So this is my lightning input. I'll just go back to my lightning application and just refresh the page, and let's see what's reflecting in our application here. And you can see here one input text box which is asking the student to enter the student name. And also I'll do one thing here. So once the student enters the name, he should click on a button called as start test. So I'm going to add a button right below this text box and just align the button right at the middle of the page. So for that, I'll just copy this layout item again, and inside this layout item I'm going to call my button. So before that, I'm going to this is my button. I'll just select the variant as the brand, and also label should be start test, and on click I'm going to call this function called as on start test. That's it. Now go back to your application again and just refresh this page. And you can see here, so this is my text box and this is my button. So now I have to align this button right at the middle of the page. To do that, just go back to your component. I'm going to use a div class is equal to slds align absolute center. So inside this div class, inside this div, I'm going to add my button. And if I refresh this page now, and you can see my button aligned right in the middle of the page. So now I'm just entering the student name here and just click on start test, and then my exam and all the questions should appear right below this. So I'm going to do one thing here. So I'll just make this field as required. To make it, I'll just use a required attribute here. I'll just name this as required is equal to true. Yes. Now we are done with our component, the UI part for the first section, which includes the student name and the start test. Now I'll just add this function in our controller here. So this is my function in our controller. So here I'm gonna check like if a student enters the name or not. So for that I'll just get the student name here entered by the student. So I'm gonna use this component dot find. What's the aura ID here? The aura ID is student name dot get v dot value. And I'll just alert this student name. Let's see what's it's printing here. Save the component and just go back to your application, just refresh the page. Here I'm going to enter Varun, click on start text, and you can see the alert box printing Varun here. So now I'm going to do one thing here. I'll just check if student is filling the name or not, or else I'm going to throw an error message like please enter the student name. So for that I'm going to do a null check here. Student name not equal to null, then only we have to start the exam, or else I'll just print a alert statement which says please enter your name. Just remove this unnecessary alerts and just go back to your application and just refresh the application once. And now I'll just keep the student name as blank and just click on start test, and you can see an error message called as please enter your name. That's it. Now if student successfully enters the name, then we have to get all the questions here. Then we have to get all the questions. So for that we have to make a server side call out we have to call our apex class and just get all the questions to our Salesforce Lightning component. So I'm gonna create an apex class for this. To create apex class, go to developer console, click on file, new apex class. I'll just name this as online exam controller. Inside this, I'm going to create my method here, which should be annotated with Aura enabled. And this is my method, public static. As of now, I'll make the return type as void. And I'll just name this method as get all questions. I don't want to pass any parameters. That's why I'm not passing any parameters from Lightning component to Apex class. But here I'm going to create a wrapper class. To create, I'm going to create two wrapper class. One is question wrapper and other is the options. One wrapper class is for options, which is uh, two wrapper class. One is question and one is for options. So we'll create the first wrapper class called as question wrapper. So it has first thing it has it is also annotated with Aura enabled. And in this wrapper class, I'm gonna add each question. The API name of the question object is question. I'll just name this as question. And the next attribute is question number, which is of integer type. And similarly, I'm gonna do one thing here. I'll just create another wrapper class called as options, which includes two variables. One is public string label and the other is value. So basically options has two properties. One is value and the label. So label is nothing but the label which is shown in the UI, and value is nothing but the which need to be captured after selecting the answer. And I'm going to declare a constructor for this, which has two parameters. One is label and value. Label value. So this is my second wrapper class called as options. So and also I just want to make sure that this question wrapper will also include list of options. So this question wrapper includes the question record and the question number and also the list of options. So I'll just declare another variable for this called as list of options, public list of the wrapper class options. It should be I'll just name this as options. So and I'm gonna add another thing here. So in the question wrapper I'm gonna add selected answer as well. So in this selected answer variable, we are storing the answer selected by the user. So it should be public. It's going to be string selected answer. So this is the answer which the user has been selected for each question. So now we are going to return this question wrapper to our lightning component. So before that, we're going to do one thing here. So we have to fetch all the questions. So I'm going to write a query here, list of question list is equal to select id comma question comma option a comma option b comma option c comma. These are the API names of the field, option D, and also I'm going to get the answer, and I'm going to get is active as well to check whether the question is active or not from. So we are getting it from question object, so that's the reason the S object is question. And I'm going to add a where clause here which says is active is equal to true. So you can see here we are getting all the list of questions which are active. We are getting all the fields like question name, option A, option B, option C, option D with the answer. Now we are going to do a null check here. I think there is one error. Let me check. No such column, option C on entity question. Okay, so basically there is a mistake here. It should be option. Yes, that's it. So now I'm going to do a null check here and check if question list exists or not. I'm going to do one thing here. If question list not equal to null, size greater than 0, else if the question list is not null, I'll just return null statement here. And here I'm going to return the return type of this method is list of question wrapper. It should be list of question wrapper. And here I'm going to declare an instance of the question wrapper, that is nothing but the QW list is equal to new list of. So I'm going to return this statement in the end which says this return QW list. So now I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to loop this question records, each question record. I'm going to loop this. So inside this for loop, I'm going to create another instance of question wrapper, which is a single. It's not a list. And after creating that instance, so we have to add that instance to our list of question wrapper. So I'm going to create another instance of this, which is a single instance. And here I'm going to assign values here. That means qw.question is equal to the question coming from the current iteration and the qw.question number. So basically question number is like a sequential number. I'll do one thing here. To capture the question number, I'll just declare an integer of I is equal to 1, and here I'm gonna capture the I value in the question number, and I'm gonna increment this I value by 1. That means for the next loop I value will be 2. In that way we can just capture the question number. So basically question number is like a sequential number. And also we have selected answer. So as of now selected answer, I'll just keep this as null. This is the user entered answer, that's the reason I'll just keep this as null. And again I just want to add another thing here. So we have to create an instance, the list of options instance as well. So I'm going to create an instance here. Options list is equal to new list of option, and inside this option list I'm going to add my instance here. Option list dot add new option, new options. I'm going to pass, first I'm going to pass the label here. So the label is nothing but the question dot option a, and for the option a value, the value is a. That's it. Similarly, I'm going to add remaining items as well for B, C, D as well. This is for B, this is for C, and this is for D. Label is the value which is displayed in the UI. That means we are getting it from the record. For example, you can see here option A. Option A has a value called as during setup. Option A has a value called as during setup. So label during setup is stored in label and the value is A. So similarly, we have to declare this B, C, D as well. And now I'm going to add this to my question wrapper here. So that means QW dot options is equal to the option list. That's it. I think our Apex class is ready here. So here we are getting all the questions here and just returning a wrapper class, and a wrapper class includes four variables. That is nothing but the question, that is it's an instance of a question and a question number and the list of options and the selected answer. So selected answers is null as it is selected by the user, and options is like an so we have to, in options we have like two variables. One is label and the value. For label we are using this the text which is in the record, and for the value, if so for example, if for option A, label will be during setup and the value is A, and for option B, label will be never and the value will be B, and for the option C, label will be before setup and the value will be C. So similarly, we are adding that options into a list of options and just adding that options to our question wrapper. So now we are returning this question wrapper here. So with the same type, I'm going to create an attribute in our lightning component as well. So I'm going to create an attribute. I'll just give the name as question wrapper, and the type is equal to, type is the class name dot the question wrapper, the wrapper class name, as it will return a list of records. That's the reason we are using it as an array type. This is our attribute. So we are storing the return type of that Apex class into this attribute. So now we are all done with the Apex class. Now we have to call our server side controller or Apex class from our lightning component. To call our Apex class from lightning component. So the first step is we have to add our controller to our lightning component. Just copy the class name and just add controller here itself. Okay, so this is my controller here. So from here I'm going to add a helper class. So I'll just name this as helper dot get questions component comma event comma helper. I'll add the similar function in the helper method as well. Yes. From here we have to get all the questions. We have to call our server side controller here. To call a server side action in lightning component, you can see in the official documentation you may get code here. So this is the code to call a server side controller. I'll just copy this and paste it in our lightning component, and I'll just remove this unnecessary comments which are not yet required as of now. we have to do some changes here. The first thing is we are not passing any parameters. That's the reason I'll just remove this action.set params. And here, instead of CMP, it should be component. Why? Because we are using component here. That's the reason the component should be replaced here as well. And we are not passing any parameters from lightning component to apex class. That's the reason I just removed the action.set param. So here we have to give the method name of the class. So go back to your application, sorry, go back to your apex class. This is my method name, and just copy this and paste it here. That's it. So as of now, I'll just print the values what we are getting now. So I'll just do a json.stringify and just see what's the item getting from the server side controller. And I'll just go back to my application and just refresh this page. I'll enter a name and click on start test. I think we are not getting anything here. Let's debug our code here. So first we'll check if our helper function is calling or not. I'll just add an alert statement here itself. Just check if our helper function is calling or not. I'll just go back to my lightning application and just refresh this page. I'll give any name here and just click on start test, and you can see my helper class is calling here, but looks like there is some problem here. Let's see logs, what's log displaying here. As of now there is no error in the logs. We'll do one thing here, we'll just try to open the console here and just check for if there are any errors or not. I think looks like there is some error here. We'll do one thing here, we'll just try to copy this once again here. I think while checking here, you can see here enqueue action is missing. That's the reason we are not getting the proper response here. So maybe I forgot to copy the whole thing here. It's my mistake. Sorry. Yeah. Now I got it. What's happening here? So I'll just replace the code again. And here I just want to as I'm not setting any parameters here, I'll just remove the statement. Here I'm gonna use the component instead of CMP, and here I'm gonna call my apex class method. Yes. So now I'll just go back to my application and just refresh this page. And just give the student name as Varun and just click on start test. And you can see here from server I'm not getting any value here. Let's see what's happening here. You can see here there is one mistake here. So once we created the question wrapper instance, we are not adding this question wrapper to this QW list. So we have to do that. That's the reason we are not getting any response in our lightning component. So I'm gonna add this and just check now and go back to your application and just refresh this page. And I'm gonna enter Varun here. And you can see we are getting the response. We are getting the wrapper class here. So now I'll do one thing here. I'll just go back to my helper class. I'll just remove the comments which is not required now. And I'm going to make use of this attribute called as question wrapper, and I'm going to set a value to this. I'll just set a value coming the return message coming from the apex class. That's it. Now I'm going to make use of this question wrapper and show the list of questions and the options to the student. Okay, so I'll just go back to my component here. So inside the same lightning card, I'll do one thing here. I'll add another layout item. Sorry, another layout. So inside this layout, I'll do one thing. I'm gonna use an aura iteration. Items is nothing but the question wrapper which we are getting from the Apex class, and where I'm gonna give this as each question. So this is my iteration. So inside this iteration, I'm going to use a lightning layout item with size is equal to 12 and the padding is around small. So inside this layout item, I'm going to print my question name here. So each question dot, sorry, each question dot, the you can see the wrapper class here. So each question dot, and we are getting the question name from this field called as question. So just copy and paste it here. Yes, now just go back to your application and just refresh your application. And I'm going to enter a student name here and click on start test here, and you can see we are only getting the question names. As of now there are only 5 questions. That's the reason it's showing me only 5 questions. Now it's time to add a question number here as well. So the question number is also similar one, but here it's not coming from the question record, it's directly coming from the wrapper class. That means this is the queue number. And if I go back to my Aura application and just refresh this page, and I'll just enter the student name and click on start test, and you can see here we are also getting the question number here as well. So I'm gonna add a statement here, yeah. And similarly, I just want to display the options as well. As of now we are only displaying the questions with the question number, but I have to display the options under each questions. So you can see here these are the questions, but options are not visible. So I'm gonna display the options as well. So inside, I'm going to make use of this lightning layout item. So inside this lightning layout item, I'm going to use a lightning radio group, which will look similar like this. If you go to this library, component library, you can see this is what we are using it. So I want to display the answers, the options in this format. So I'm going to make use of this lightning radio group. Just copy this radio group and just go back to your developer console. So here I'm going to add some attributes to this. We have some attributes called as name. So we'll do one thing here, we'll just copy the whole bunch thing and just paste it in the developer console here. I'm gonna change something here. So I don't require label here, I'll just remove the label. For name, it should be unique, so that's the reason I'm just making id, using this id for the name. And here comes the option. So here we have to pass the options wrapper class which we created in our Apex class. That is nothing but the each question. This is the each wrapper class dot and the options, and value is nothing but we can store this in this variable called as selected answer. Yes, now just go back to your application and just refresh this page. I'll just name the student name, enter the student name as Varun, and just click on start test. But we are not no, we are not getting the options here. Let's see what's happening. It should be radio group, so this should not be V, it should be only this. Now just check the application here, and click on start test, and you can see here all the options for each question here. This is the options for each questions here. So I'll just explain you one more thing what we are doing here. So if you go back to my component here, so first thing is we are displaying the question number and the question coming from the wrapper class. And next thing is we are using the radio group and assigning some options to that radio group, and options includes to one label and a value. So that means this is the label here. If I check this, let's check this, the value stored in the selected answer will be A. So we have an for example, if you observe here, we are storing the value in this variable called as selected answer. So if I do one thing here, so if I select this after setup here, the selected answer value will be D. That means the options has two things. One is label and the value. Label is for just front end purpose, but the value we declared as uh, ABCD. So if you see the Apex class here, you can see in the Apex class, if you go back to this Apex class, you can see here we are storing the label, and also we are just giving the value as A, B, C, D. That's it. And the same thing we are storing in the wrapper class variable called as selected answer. Okay, so now it's all looking good, but I just want to increase. I just want to increase this font size. So to increase the font size, I'll do one thing here. I'll just add a div tag here with style. Font size, I'll just give this 20 pixel. And also if you want to give some color, you can give. Inside this div tag, I'm gonna add my questions and options. So let's see how our component looks now. Just go back to our application and just refresh this page. Yeah, now it's looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna add a submit button after this. So at the downside, I'm gonna add a submit button. So for that also, I'll just come out of the iteration. I'll add another layout item. Similar thing, the button which we used above, I mean top of the page, I'm gonna use that button itself, but I'll just change the label of it. I'll just name this as submit and a function on submit, and on click I need to call this on submit function. I'll also declare this in our controller as well. Now if I go back and refresh the page, okay, you can see here uh, it's asking for the student name, and also it's showing me the submit button right away. So this should not be happen. Once I click on the start test only, then only I should be able to see the submit button. For that, I'm going to create another attribute, a boolean attribute called as exam started, which will indicate the component like if exam started or not. So I'll do one thing here. I'll just declare another attribute. The name of the attribute is exam started, and the type is boolean, and the default value is false. So I'm going to display the whole component, the question component, whenever the exam started is true. Or if I'm going to make use of this or if tag, or if is true is equal to. So inside this div tag, I'm going to add my code. So once the start test button is clicked, then only I just want to show the screen. So for that, I'll just go back to my helper class. Once I get all the questions here, I'll just make this as true. Just make this as true. Just make the boolean as true. That means if this condition will be satisfied, and you can see whole screen here. So if I go back to my lightning application, and if I enter my name here and just click on start test, you can see all the questions and also the submit button right below the page. Okay, now it's all good. Now it's time to calculate the score. How we can calculate the score? Okay, to calculate the score, we are already using an we are already storing the value of each question, the answer of each question in this variable called as selected answer. So basically, a question wrapper is a list which has question ID, question name, the whole question record, and the options and the selected answer. So for the name, for the options, I'm using the options tag, which has two variables called as label and the value here. Okay, now it's time to calculate the score here. So to calculate the score, I'm gonna add a logic in this function for the on submit function here. To calculate the score, I'm gonna get the wrapper class here. I'll just get the wrapper class of this question wrapper into this variable called as the same question wrapper component dot get question wrapper. And here I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna loop this question wrapper integer. Sorry, it's not integer here. It's gonna be var I less than question wrapper dot length I plus plus. So inside this wrapper class, I'm gonna do one thing here. So for each question it will iterate. For each question it will iterate. So here we have to filter out. Here we have to filter out the score, and I mean how many are correct, how many are wrong. To declare the score, I'll just declare a variable called as score. Initial value, I'll just keep this as 0. And here I'm going to do an if condition here. If question wrapper of index I dot selected answer, that means the answer selected by the user equal to the same thing, the question wrapper of index I dot the exact answer. So the exact answer is stored in this variable question dot. Question is nothing but the whole record dot answer. Answer is the field API name. If this condition is satisfied, I'm going to increment the score value by 1, score plus plus. I think there is one error here. Okay, it should be semicolon. Okay, so here once I come out from the for loop, I'll just print my score here. Alert, your score is plus score. And now if I go back to my application here and just refresh this page, I'll just start the test here, Varun, and just click on start test. And you can see here I'll just answer some of the questions, like this is during setup. The users can view objects of this type, base 32, cascading delete when you are loading a large number of records. So I just given some random answers here and just click on submit, and you can see here your score is 5. That means I've almost I think all the questions are of right. So I'll do one thing here. I'll add another question in my question object and see what's happening here. So before that, once this alert statement is done, I'm going to refresh the page. I'll just or else as of now I'll just refresh the page. I'm going to use this location.reload. Okay, so now I'm going to add another question in my Salesforce instance. So go back to my Salesforce instance, click on questions tab and click on new here. So I'll just add these questions. So this is my question here, and I'll just make this as isActive is true, and this is my option A, and this is my option B, this is my option C, this is the option D, and the correct answer is C, and click on save. Okay, now you can see here I'll just remove this dot and just click save the record here. And if I go back to my application and just refresh this application, and you can see a new question added here. I'll just start the test. So you can see here a new question added here. So this is the question which we created now. And if I click on submit here, it will show me that your score is 0. That means I have not answered any of the question here. That's the reason it's showing me the score as 0. And on click of the once the alert box appear, and the page is automatically refreshed. Why? Because we have added a location dot reload after the alert box is displayed here. So now I'll do one thing here. I'll just give some values randomly here, and it will automatically check if the selected answer is equal to the actual answer in the record. Then we are just incrementing the score value and displaying it in the alert box. So that means only one answer is correct for us. So yeah. So in this way we can build our online application using lightning component. And if you want to add any timer, so if you want to add any timer, I already made a video on countdown timer, how to start a timer from a particular minutes. So you can make use of that code and just embed that code into this online exam component. Thanks for watching.